Hello, everyone, and once again, I'm excited that you're here with me to talk about Roam Research. Now, if you're not familiar with Roam Research and what it can do for you, I'll link to my previous video that shows you how I have Roam set up and how I use it every single day. But now I want to dive into the basics of Roam. If you haven't touched it, you're just starting out brand new, how do you even begin? Because what you're going to see from the start is very different than what I showed you and what I've built after all of my time and research with Roam. So let's start from the very beginning. All right, when you first log into Roam, this is the screen that you will see. There's a few things going on here that I want to make you aware of. Up here in the top right, you will see download the desktop app. I don't typically use the desktop app. That's just my own preference. I like it being in my browser. I have a couple of browser windows open and I can refer from one screen to the other. So I don't like Roam just taking up all of the real estate on one device or one screen. So I just use it in the browser. And to me, that's the most convenient way to do that. But you can download the desktop app. Then you can see here we have hosted graphs. These are graphs that stay on the cloud, and it makes your graphs accessible anywhere you have an internet connection. Then you have your local graphs. These are ones that are just stored locally on your machine, and graphs that are shared with you. This is a functionality I have not used because I don't know anyone that I work with that uses Roam yet. But you can share graphs, and you can also have other people working in your graphs for team building, project management, all of those things. Now you can see that I have created one graph. If I click on this, then it will take me to the graph that I showed you in the first video. So you can see it loading, and there it is. It's now October 15th, and you can see my daily tasks and the things that I want to accomplish today. So that's what it looks like for graphs that have already been created. If I go back and I click up here on the top left, scroll down to graphs and settings, I will be taken back to the hosted graph page. Now, the particular plan I'm on allows me to have 3 graphs. You can see here it says I have one of 3. So I'll click on Create Graph, and let's call this my instruction graph. If I could spell, that would be fantastic. Don't judge. It's my typing. It's not my spelling. There we go. Create graph. Too many letters. Can't have a space. Okay, now we're going to create the graph. All right. Now you can see up on the right-hand side, you immediately get Roam Help. They have Get Started videos. They have a sample graph. They have a shortcuts menu. I'm not a big shortcuts guy, but we will get into shortcuts as we move through the process and through these different training videos. But I'm going to go ahead and close that and focus right here on the on today's date, because this is what you get. And this is why I think sometimes Roam is a little bit daunting for people, because they open it up and bang, they get this screen and it just says today's date, and you're like, what in the world am I gonna do with that? Well, I'll show you how to build templates later on, and that's how you can autofill this with information that you use every single day. But back to this page. What do you do with it? How do you use it? So the idea in Roam, at least for me, is that I can do everything that I need to do in a day from one page. Unless I'm seeking reference material, looking for previous notes, things like that, I never have to leave this page. That's the genius. If I'm in a meeting about marketing, but I have a thought that jumps in my head about another project, I can just note that here on the page and it'll automatically be stored with that project. That's why I love Roam so much. So you might have a couple of things going on every day. So let's say you have your goals for the day. So I'm going to hit goals. And then let's say you have your meetings for the day and you want to take notes on those meetings. So I'll type in meetings. And then let's say you want to journal every day. So I'll type in journal. So right now, you've just created 3 different bullet points. These don't reference anything. You just have text on a page. Well, now what I want to do is I'm going to say, you know what? I need a separate page or note for my goals, my meetings, and my journal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to highlight goals and I'm going to hit the double brackets. And you can see that it brings up this search for a page because it knows that I'm creating a page. And if there's already a page that's been created under that name, it will show it right now. There isn't one created because this is a brand new graph. So I'm literally creating the goals page right now just by putting the double square brackets around it. So I put it around it and I hit enter. And now when I click off of that line, it's going to turn into a hyperlink. And what is the hyperlink that it's going to turn into? A goals page. So now if I click on it, you can see that it created a goals page. There's nothing on that page yet, but the page has already been created. So unlike other note-taking apps, when you want to create a new topic like meetings or goals, you have to go into the hierarchy and you have to find where you're going to want that folder and you're going to have to create that folder. Not in Roam Research. So I'm going to click back. The other way to do this is instead of typing the word and then the double brackets, if instead of typing meetings, I hit a double brackets first, now it knows that I'm about to create a page, and then I type meetings in between the brackets and hit enter. It does the same thing. And then I click off of that, and now I've created another page. So look, if I click on that, I now have a meetings page. So if I hit back, let's do the same thing for journal. Double square brackets, and boom. Just like that, I have created 3 pages within my Roam graph. Now, anytime that I use either the double brackets or I use a hashtag that has any of those 3 names, goals, meetings, or journal, it will automatically be added to that page. So I'll give you an example. So goals. Today I want to learn about Roam. And then I hit enter. This goals right here, that is the parent. Anything under that is the child and will automatically be added to that goals page. So again, let's click on goals and you can see there it is under linked references. What I have added under goals for that day is now available on the goals page. So from here on out, from here till the end of time, every time that I do something related to goals, as long as I have referenced it some way back to goals, then it will appear on this page. So if I click back, let's say I'm somewhere else in a different meeting and I remember that I need to create a goal. I can just, anywhere in Roam, I can type in new goal, and instead of new goal, I'm going to actually say take out the trash is a goal. And I'm going to, instead of using the square brackets, I'm going to use the hashtag mark, and I'm going to choose goals. And you can see the minute I begin to type in goals, that page appears as an option. Now, it's important to note that it is case sensitive. So you're going to want to use the same case every time. That's why I love the drop down. So if I hit goals, now that line and anything under that line is associated with the goals page. So if I say, remember that it is recycle day, because it really is, And again, my typing is atrocious. So once again, if I go back to the goals page, you can now see that that hashtag has placed this new goal information on my page. And there it is. Remember that it is Recycle Day. So you can see how no matter where I'm at in Rome, whatever page I'm on, if I have a thought that jumps into my head and it's associated with another page or project, all I have to know is the name of that project, and I can hashtag it or I can square bracket it, and I'm instantly saving that, and I never have to go to that destination. It is literally frictionless. And I'm sure this happens to you. You're in a meeting and you're talking about one topic, and the way our mind works, boom, it pops into your head something else. And that's when you just type it into Rome. Now I'm going to get rid of this for the moment so that we can go back and focus. So you can also see up here on the top right, there is a search bar. This is another way to go to your pages. So if I click on that, and I start to type in goals, you can see right here that the goals page has come up. That's another way to quickly reference each of the goals pages. Now let's go back here and let's take a look quickly at the page that is created anytime you do the double square brackets or you create a hashtag. If I click on goals, you can now see it's my goals page, and as we talked about, here's the linked references. Now the hashtag that I used is not there. So you see linked references. These are any time that I'm going to use a hashtag goals or the square brackets goals. It's going to give you the date that I use it, and it's going to give you the text that I use. Then if you click under unlinked references, this is one of the other beauties of Rome Research, is the minute I create that page, Rome is looking for the word goals. So let's say later on I'm typing in goals. In fact, let's go back and do it. And let's create a new line. So I'm going to type in reaching 1,000 subscribers, can't spell, is one of my goals. Now, if this is set up right, when I hit enter, if I click on that goals page, this new mention of goals should be showing up somewhere on the page. So let's click on the page, and now let's click down here to unlinked references, and look at that. It grabbed it. Now I can go in later and put a hashtag next to it, and then it becomes a linked reference. But you can see the beauty here is Rome is always looking for associations with pages and hashtags that you've created. So even if you forget, it's going to be in there. And again, so talking about this page, you have your linked references, you have your unlinked references. If I go over here to the right and I click link, it will now make that a linked reference. Do you see what it did? It put the square brackets around the word goals, and now that is linked to everything that has to do with goals. So I've got linked references, unlinked references, and up here, right under goals, I've got some space. This is really for you to expand or create. I use it to create a hierarchy system. So maybe underneath goals, I have some different hashtags. So maybe I have, let's say, personal goals. So I'm going to say hashtag personal goals. And then I'm going to say hashtag company goals. All right. So again, using the hashtag or the curly brackets, these have now become their own page. So if I click on that, you can see I now have a personal goals page. So this is a great way to be able to categorize your different goals. So now I can go back in here to my linked references, and let's say one of my goals was today I want to learn about Rome. I can go in here at the end of it and I can hit hashtag, And now I'm going to say this is a personal goal. And I'm going to hit enter. Well, if I did this right, you can see how it's a hashtag personal goals. If I go back to my personal goals page, look at that. Now it's associated with my personal goals. So I hope you can see how using this process, you can start to categorize things. So if I go back to my daily page, if under goals here, I created a goal, see how it added personal goals there? This is, again, the genius of Rome Research. So let's say, don't forget about the report due in the meeting today. If I want to assign this to a goal, so let's say that's a personal goal, all right? And let's also say that I want to recognize right away that this is a company goal. So I'll put company goals here as well. Now I've got 2 hashtags on there. Well, let's find out if it was added to my goals page. I'll click on goals and look down here. You can see, don't forget about the report due in the meeting today. Look at that. And then my other goal today, I want to learn about Rome. Well, did it also add it to my company goals? Click on company goals. It sure did. So you can once again see how everything on a single page is being categorized and filed where I need it to go, and I'm never leaving that single page. Okay, so let's go back to our day page. An easy way to do that is go up here to the left, and you'll see this menu bar on the left. I like to pin it, so if you click it one more time, it stays on the left. And here we have the daily note that takes you to today. Then you have a graph overview, and you have a list of all your pages. So for the sake of this exercise, we're going to go back to daily notes. And again, we're back on today. Now there's some other formatting here that is available that I want you to know about. If you go up here to this little bullet point right here and you right click, you're going to see some options. Now the option that I'm going to focus on right now is down here, your H1, H2, and H3. These are different settings for headings. So if I hit H2, you'll be able to see it made goals bigger. It formatted it differently. Let's try one more time. H3, again, a little bit different. You also see as you right click, you've got an expand all and a collapse all. This is referring to the bullet points or the child points below the parent. So if I hit collapse all, you can see everything under goals collapsed. Then if I go up here, I should see an arrow next to it. See the little arrow? And then I click that and everything below it comes back into play. So that's what I want you to know from the drop down menu so far. Then up here to the right, I showed you the search bar. You also have a date picker. So if you click on the date, you can see it's highlighted with today's date, but you can go backwards in time or you can go forwards in time. So if I want to jump forward and start or plan something on the 21st, I can go forward and start entering information there as well. And one of the cool things is that I can, again, from my daily page, I can do this again without navigating away from my home page. So let's say I'm in a meeting and the meeting says that you are assigned to do something on a specific date. Well, the way that I'm going to record that is I'm going to hit the / and you can see that I get a lot of options here. Now, the option that I want you to focus on at this moment, and we will eventually talk about all of these options, is the date picker. So if I scroll down here to date picker, again, I get that calendar. And let's say that I'm going to be assigned to do something on the 19th. So I'm going to click the 19th, and you can see that that page, and you know it's a page because of the double brackets, has now appeared. So I've got some things that I have to do on October 19th. So I can put in marketing report due. All right. So, and now I've been made that assignment. I haven't left the page. And now I can go on with whatever else is going on in the meeting. If I want to make sure that it's there, I'll click up here on the date picker and I'll go to the 19th. And look at that. There it is on the date that I need to have it accomplished. Again, it's so genius. I never have to leave the date page. This is why I am in love with Rome Research. Then let's go back up here and click on daily notes. And remember, the other genius of this is that everything that I record on this day is going to stay on this day and be referenced by this day anywhere else any of this information is seen. So if I want to go back in time, then I just go back and click on the date and I will see all the notes. I'll see everything that I created. And again, that is the genius of it. So from there, let's talk about actual to-do list items. So far, I have just used, statements like today I want to learn about Rome, but I haven't made that a to-do list item. The genius of Rome, again, is they have the ability to delineate something as a to-do item. So right here I have today I want to learn about Rome, and don't forget about the report due in the meeting today. I'm going to get rid of those. And I'm going to go back and click enter. And now I'm a child under goals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit control enter. Now you can see that there's a bunch of stuff there. Looks like some kind of code if you're not used to markup language and those kind of things. And it says to do. Well, don't be distracted by that. That's going to turn into a checkbox. So under to do, I'm going to now make this my goal, learn about Rome. Okay. And if I hit enter, that is now, you can see it's a to-do item and it has a checkbox. And the beauty of that is now it can be tracked in any way that you want it to be tracked as a to-do item. And you'll see if I click the box, then it will now show that it has been completed. If I uncheck the box and I go back here to goals, you can see it now appears under goals with a checkbox. So now I've created a to-do item. And look, it also tells me what day it was created on. If I go back to my date picker, and let's pick the day before. So today's the 15th, I'm going to go to the 14th. And I'm going to create a new goal here, command enter. So I'm going to say, remember to talk to John. It's a to-do item. And I'm going to put a hashtag on it that says goals. And you know what? I'm even going to be putting a hashtag on it that says company goals, just to really classify it. All right. Now, if I hit enter, you can see it is a to-do item. It is a goal and it's a company goal. So if I go up here into the search bar and I choose goals, and it's already there because it's a recent, I should see my goal. Now here it is. It shows me that under October 15th, I assigned a new goal, learn about Rome. That's what I created on today's date. But then if you go down here, here's October 14th, and that's when I created the to-do to remember to talk to John. And then if I click on company goals, it should be in there as well. And there it is with the date that it was created. So once again, I've never left my date page and everything is being sorted and classified exactly where I need it to be. It is so beautiful. Okay, let's go back over here to daily notes. And also down here on the right, you will see shortcuts. Now, shortcuts are something that I use on a regular basis as well. So pages that you're referring to on a regular basis. The way that you add a shortcut to the left is you click on whatever page you want to create. So I'm going to choose goals. Then you go up here to the little three dots on the right, share, export, and more. And you see add to shortcut. Now look at that over here on the left, goals has been pinned to the left. And let's do the same thing for meetings because we have a lot of meetings. And remember, I created the meetings page. So let's click on that. So I'm on the meetings page. Now click the top 3 brackets. And there you go. Meetings is on the left. Now, the other thing you should know is that every single time you create a to-do item, it is stored on the to-do page. Now, you didn't create a to-do page. That page is automatically there in Roam from the beginning. So if I go up here to the top and I click on to-do, T-O-D-O, you will see that it's right there. Now, if I click on to-do, here's all of the goals that I have created in one place. So I want to keep track of all of my to-dos just to make sure that none are missing. So I'm going to make that a shortcut as well. So go up here to the right, click on add to shortcuts, and now you can see I have access to all of my to-do items. You'll also notice that when I click on one of these items in the to-do page, it will disappear. It's now complete. Well, where did it go? What if I want to reference it back? Well, that's on the done page. So if I go up here and I search for done, you'll see there's already a done page created. Click on done. Now I can see all of the goals that I've already completed. Let's go ahead for kicks and giggles. Let's add that to the shortcut as well. So now I have a to-do page, I have a done page, I have a goals page, I have a meetings page, and I can access all of them and store information on them from my daily note. Now you might be thinking, hey, I'd like to see more than one page at a time. I'd like to be able to cross-reference material. Don't worry, Roam has that taken care of for you as well. And if you remember on my own graph, as I will show you, over here on the right side, I have my to-do page. And I have all of my different categories or projects there under my to-do page. I also have weekly goals, and I also have weekly assignments. So this is all appearing on the right side, so I can reference it when I'm on my today page. So how do you set that up? Well, let's go back to our brand new graph, our instruction graph. So I'll click once again on JayMac and go here to my instruction graph. And all you need to do is any page that you want to see on the right side, you can either go over here to the left and click on it while holding down the shift button, and you can see goals is now over here on the right. If I want it to appear all the time, I can click the pin button, and now goals will be there all the time. If I want meetings over there as well, I can do shift meetings, and now meetings will appear on top of that. And I can expand it, or I can expand it, or I can collapse it using the little arrow there. So now you can see how you can have multiple pages visible to you at the same time. Again, this makes multitasking and referencing other pages fantastic. And as you saw, I always keep my to-do list up where I can see it, because when I build my day, when I fill out my tasks and everything, that's what I like to refer to. Now, before we end this introductory video, I want to share with you one of the other most important features in Roam, and that is called block references. Every time that you create a parent block, you are creating a block reference. And in fact, every time you create a child block, you are creating a block reference. So the way block references work is, let's say I create a brand new parent here, and let's say that this is a planning meeting. And underneath the planning meeting, I have topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3. This all falls under this one block. Remember, I can collapse it, I can expand it. And if I click on the master bullet there, it actually takes me to a page just for that block. So think about it in these terms. Every time you're creating a new bullet point, so think about it in these terms. Every time you're creating a new bullet point, you're actually kind of creating a new page, only in this case it's referred to as a block. So I'm going to go back to my daily notes, and here's my planning meeting. If I right click on that, you can see here this copy block reference, and there's a command there that you can learn as well. If I copy that block, I can now insert that block anywhere else that I want to in Roam. So if I go up here to the date picker and I choose, let's say, the 20th, and then I go up here to my parent block and I use the /, which brings down a bunch of options. If I go to block reference, you see I get the 2 curly brackets, and I hit Command V or paste and then enter. You can see that that block has now been inserted. I could just paste it without doing the /, and you can also see that it gets inserted. Now, when I do that, that is just going to insert the text or a reference back to the block. So if I click on that, you can see I have some options. Jump to block, open that block in the sidebar, replace it with something, apply children to it, all of those things. If I want to actually put that block there so that it acts the same way and interacts with the block where I have it somewhere else, then in that case I want to do a /, and I want to go down here to block embed. Now block embed, if I hit enter, it now gives me a different kind of code, and I'm going to paste in my block reference, and then I'm going to hit enter. Now that block reference is there, and it's linked back to the original block reference. So let's say that later on there's a topic 4 that gets added. So I'm going to hit topic 4. Well, now any changes that I've made here, if I go back to my daily notes, you can see it's reflecting back on the original block. So block embed is a genius way to carry information forward and still be able to edit it, and it edits the master block. So again, you can see I don't have to leave the page I'm on. I can just bring in the embedded block, and it is available. Blocks can also be found via search. So if I go up here to the top and I just type in what I think was in the block, so I type planning meeting, you can see here that it's brought up this block planning meeting. And if I click on that, look at that, there it is. And it shows me everywhere that it's come up. So block references are one of the really great parts about Roam Research. So click back on the daily note. And the other thing I love is that these bullet points can all be dragged around. So let's say I want to make topic 1, let's say I want to change the order. I click the bullet and I drag it up, and you can see it change the order. Or let's say I want the planning meeting to be up here. I can just drag it, and now my planning meeting is there. So organizing the information is really, really easy to do. Now briefly, let's talk about some of the other options or basic options that are available. So I'm going to create a new parent here, and I'm going to hit the /, and you can see some of the things that we've talked about. For example, if you want to track your time during the day that you did something, I can choose current time. So now it's entered the exact date or time, not date, but time that I want to do something, and then I can say took a break. This is great for when you're wanting to build clients or do anything that has time relations to it, time blocking, those types of things. So let's create a new parent, and let's go and /. I'm not going to take you through all of these. I showed you the date picker. You can also just choose today. You can choose tomorrow. You can choose yesterday. You can choose bold or italics, highlight, strike through. You can also upload an image. So if I want to upload an image, to upload image, and now it gives me my picker and I can import an image. It tells me that uploaded files are hosted separately. I accept that. And now it uploads that image. So you can bring in documents, images, PDFs, all kinds of different things using this methodology. And there's a lot of other options that are available in the /, but we will save those for a future training. So I hope from this brief introduction, you can start to get the feel for how you can use your graph on a daily basis and how easy it is to create new note pages, to add information to existing pages, just using the hashtag or the double square brackets to refer back to your information. And it gives me such peace of mind to know that Roam is always watching. And they're always looking for things to cross-reference in case you forget to add a hashtag or something else. So play around with that a little bit, get familiar with it, and then coming up, we're going to focus on how to use queries. This is what I use to create my to-do list for today, my to-do list for the week, and also how I can classify or categorize those to-do lists into different projects and make them easy to view. So lots more coming up. If you want to continue to learn about how I use Roam and how potentially you can use Roam, please click the subscribe button so that you can get an alert every time I release a new video. And please like and share. That will help me out a lot. Thank you and have a great day.